This video will explain the physical properties of ionic compounds. As ionic compounds are containing ionic bonds, they are made up of ions, and ions are oppositely charges, so there is electrostatic force of attraction between the ions, and that force of attraction is extremely strong. So that makes the melting and the boiling point of ionic compounds very high, as the positive charges or the ions are held together by a strong force of attraction. So and they are existing in the giant ionic lattice as well, so it is very difficult to break it. On the screen I have given the melting point of two ionic compounds, sodium chloride and magnesium oxide. Because magnesium oxide is having a strong ionic lattice, greater charge on the ions, and smaller the ions are, so the force of attraction is stronger as compared to that of sodium chloride. And even charges are more. As you see, on sodium we have +1 charge and magnesium +2 charge. Chloride has -1 charge and oxide has -2 charge. So as we have already discussed in the previous video that strength of the ionic bond depends upon the charges on the ions and the size of the ions. If the ions are smaller in size, there is a stronger force of attraction which is holding them together, so making their melting point very high. The second property is if they are good conductor of heat and electricity. So before that, let's discuss about their solubility. So ionic compounds, as they are made up of ions have charges, and water is a polar solvent. So ionic compounds are easily soluble in the polar solvents like water. So once they are dissolving in the water, the ions get free, because the force of attraction which is developing between the ions and the water molecule is stronger as compared to the force of attraction existing between the ions. So that in that case, the ions get free of their lattice and free of their lattice in which they are present on the fixed position. So these free ions are not able to conduct electricity. So ionic compounds are only good conductor in the dissolved form or in the molten form, because in both the cases, dissolved and molten state, the ions are free, so they are conducting electricity easily. So what you expect in the past paper questions, that why ionic compounds are good conductor of electricity in the molten or in the aqueous form, but bad conductor in the solid form. So as you see on the screen, ionic compounds conduct electricity in the molten and in aqueous form because they have free moving ions, but no electricity conduction in the solid form because it has no free moving ion. So these are the answers, correct answers, which you can use to write the answers to the past paper questions. So ionic compounds are brittle. Brittle are those substances which are hard but can easily be broken, just like a dry leaf. Dry leaves are harder, but they are easily broken down. So same is the property for ionic compounds. Ionic compounds have brittle crystalline structure, so they break or shatter when the forces are applied, as the ions are present in a specific crystalline structures. So when and those structures are very regularly arranged, and in those structures ions are very regularly arranged. So when the pressure of force is applied, those layers can be easily shattered and broken. So yeah, that's another property of ionic compounds. So let's wrap this up, that which properties we have discussed. We have discussed that ionic compounds have high melting and the boiling point. We have discussed that ionic compounds are good conductor of heat and electricity in the molten and the aqueous form because of the free movement of the ions, but they are bad conductor of electricity in the solid state because the ions are fixed in the crystal lattice. And we have discussed that ionic compounds are soluble in water because they are made up of ions, and water is a polar solvent, so they are soluble in polar solvents like water. And we have discussed at the end that ionic compounds are brittle in their nature, so when force is applied, they can easily be broken and shattered. That's all for this video. I'll catch you in the next video. Thank you. God bless. Allah Hafiz.